How you doing, guys? Good afternoon. Welcome. It's Wednesday, isn't it? Another week going. Christmas seems like a distant past, doesn't it? Although it's only a couple of weeks, I know. It's soon going to be February, and then it's going to be March, and then the weather's going to get better, and we're going to feel a lot happier. But in the meantime, we've got an important game coming up. We're in the middle of a transfer window, and we want to have a chat, don't we? As usual, a little bit early, like I always am. I can't help it. It's just in my blood. Whenever I do anything, I'm always early. Anyone that knows me will tell you I'm never ever late. I'm always early, painfully early sometimes. But there you go. That's life, innit? Apparently we haven't got anyone on yet, but let's just have a little click. We know what this is like. It takes a little bit of time to warm up. We've got two on at the moment. Come and say hello. Come and talk to me. Tell me I'm here. Tell me, Steve, we can see you. We've got a lot to talk about, and we just want to get like the hellos and how are yous done quickly, and then we can move on to some proper interesting stuff a few seconds later, hopefully. I haven't got anyone on yet. Well, we have, but we haven't got anyone making comments yet. But I'm pretty sure we're going to get a comment soon. Who's going to get the first comment in? Boom! It's Jay Piercy. Hi Steve, how's it going, mate? Bit slow on the transfer front, but I'm hopeful of some quality soon. Yeah, there's a lot of rumour going around, and I've had this. Oh, Jesus, I'll get sick of it on our group. I say that we don't accept rumours, we don't like links and all that. Listen, we've got our own sources, and there are some reliable sources. Obviously, the most reliable one is the club. But if we know people that we know usually are being, reliable, proper sources, and the people that we properly know, then we'll post it. So I had someone complaining because I, I, I put on yesterday that I think the John Solis rumour uh, is going to happen soon. That signing is going to happen. And then someone goes on and says, I thought you didn't put rumours on. Well, the thing is, if someone puts something on and they say like so and so said to me this, or if it's someone that we know is a good source, we'll post it. If it isn't, then we won't. And there were quite a few rumours about John Solis, and they didn't look genuine to me. And then someone that I know came on, and they say, Steve, I think that John Solis thing is going to happen pretty soon as well. And then we had Fabrizio Romano putting it on as well. Although I don't always trust what Romano says. And then I thought, yeah, we're going to put it on. So we put it on. I mean, do people want me to like, I don't know, like, see someone that I know is a good source, and then they tell me something, and then I go, hang on a minute, I better check he's a good source. I ring you back and go, is it the same person there? Yeah, okay, you are a good source, aren't you? We've known each other for years, right? Yeah, okay, then we'll put it on. I don't like, we don't administer our own content. We put it on there, so it's not going to be something we don't allow, is it? If you put something on and it's a link or it's just a rumour that's been put out there by all the usual people, then we know it's bullshit usually. If it turns out not to be, fair enough. And the other thing is, if you don't like it, don't go and look at another. There's loads of other groups that have got every name under the sun on there. And I'll give you the reverse issue with this in a minute. I just want to say hello to Kay Allison. I prefer quality rather than quantity. Well, we haven't got any quantity at the moment, but let me tell you, John Solis, if he comes from Girona, is quality. He's a big lad, can play in the number 10, he can play his central midfield, he's big and strong, and I like him, I like him, I do. I think he's going to be a good signing. I think it's going to happen. Um, Jay, Jay Piercy, I've blocked loads of negative fans, mate, doing my nutting. Our club is closed now on rumours since Nitro took over. I prefer this. Well, the club don't put rumours out, like when we had Richardson and Maxi, telling us we sign. I mean, these are the guys that are going to buy the club, and they say, listen, we're going to sign so and so, and it turns out that we don't, so the club don't do it, That's the real source, is the club. Lee Harvey, hey up Steve, off food shopping in a minute. All right, Lee, what are you going to get, mate? I'm trying to. Listen, I want to lose a couple of kilos. I'm 84 kilos. I want to get to like 80 if I can. Just get rid of a little bit of body fat. That's how it is, isn't it? You can't help it. Um, so yeah. So the other thing is, and people say, well, you know, you've got to allow some. You got to allow some rumours in the group. Well, you haven't, because what happens is, see, we've had this one now about this Swedish guy. Now, I thought from the first second it was shite, and I looked at all the sources. Didn't look very good to me. And then when someone then decides it isn't going to happen, oh no, this isn't happening, by the way. Then everyone's saying, oh, the club messed it up, they didn't go in quicker. You've got nothing to, the club don't even know anything about it. That's what I mean. You know, all right, catch you later, Lee. Um, so, you know, have this scenario, right? I'm sitting at home, I'm bored, and I think, you know what? I just seen, look at that Swedish kid there, like he looks quite good, doesn't he? I'm going to put out on the internet that, you know, Blues are interested in him, and I'll put it out there. And then that goes out there, and then another idiot picks it up and goes, oh, look, Blues are interested in this guy. And then the clickbait people who love this sort of shite pick it up. They do a bit of research on him and they go, oh, look, like, you know, he's 5'10", he's good, blah, 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 like, he's only got two, and all this, like, and rumours are that he's going to sign for Blues, and then someone else gets it, and then someone else gets it, and then everyone gets it, and everyone's then putting this out about this Swedish kid. And if you look at all of the, you know, 95% of the rumours put out there are clickbait sites, people that know fuck all really, to be honest. And then what happens is, then the guy thinks, oh, you know, what am I going to say now? Like, you know, because it ain't really going to happen. This bullshit. I know. I'll say that like someone else is coming for him, or Birmingham won't pay him what he wants. And then they put that out there, and then everyone else picks up on it. Oh, Birmingham, oh, typical Blues, I won't pay anything, you know. And then from nothing, from what was absolutely nothing, all this shit is kicked up. So that's why we don't do it. And when, if you're one of the people that puts on there, you know, like, what, you know, what about freedom of speech? It's not the fucking government. It's not the Houses of Parliament, pal. It's a Facebook group. If you're not happy about having your freedom of speech, phone the police, write to your MP and tell them about me, and then that can come and sort me out. It's fair enough. You know, I'll go, Governor, put the Pandoras on me. Um, Yeah, catch you next time, Lee. So, you know, and I don't want to make a big deal out of this. You know, anyone that's been with us any length of time knows exactly what we're knows exactly what we're about. They know what sort of a group we are. And here's my daughter on here. Look, Amy Rose. How are you, darling? I've been getting a bit of stick. I ain't been getting a bit of stick, but you know what I mean. It's just a load of bullshit, isn't it? What are you crying for? What are you crying for, my love? I don't want to see my daughter crying. But you know what I mean, don't you, guys? So come on. Anyone that knows me knows that we only put the truth on here, and that's it really. So I reckon that John Solis is going to happen. Plays for Girona. He's only played a few times this season, but he's like a boy. He's like on and off the bench. He played quite a few games last season, I think, and people are going, you know, oh, you know, he's I know, Amy, I know. If I thought he was really crying, I'd be really upset. Yeah, I know you're laughing, my love. She's a bit. My daughter's got a wicked sense of humour, and she's a good girl, aren't you? If you ever you want your nails done, you're in Evesham. She's your girl. And she's Mad Blues fan, of course, and just proper girl, like, you know. So I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, Paul James, phone 999. Exactly, Paul. You know what? What service would you like? Police. Hello, police here. You know Steve Trainer. He runs that Facebook group, the project. Yeah, he isn't giving me freedom of speech. Oh my God, we'll be around. Have you got the case? I think he lives in Spain. Well, you better phone the Guardia Civil in Spain. Okay, I will. Hello, is that a Spanish police? You no entiende. You what? No entiende. I don't understand you. Fucking hell, come on. It's not good, is it? But this guy John Solis, so he played for Girona, and I love you too, my darling. He plays for Girona. He's a big lad. He's 21 or 22. He's 6'2". He's a proper big midfielder who can put himself about, put his foot in. He's got technical know-how. Have a little look at him. Have a little read up about him. So, people are going, oh, why do you want to play a player that can't get in Girona's first team? Girona are a really good team. He's played in the European Cup for Girona, right? Girona are a good Spanish La Liga team. And it's only like having Doyle, isn't it? Doyle couldn't get into Wolves' team. Look where Wolves are, and look what we think of Doyle. We love him, don't we? So, to be honest, every player that you mention, there's a problem with them, and what happens is, we have to be, we have to be like, we have to be realistic about what we can get, and you know, exactly what I mean. Not everyone's going to want to come to Blues, and we have to think about realistic targets. I think personally, most of our business is going to come from loans, uh, Premier League loans, I hope. Um, so we've made some room in the loans, in the loan market. I think Kenya could probably be going if we can find a home for him. I don't know what the score is with Kyogo now. He scored a goal, but is that enough? Yeah, and Paul James saying that they're part of the Man City group, Girona, so they're not muppets, they're not. And if we get this lad or we loan him even, it'll be a nice move for us because it's one area where we could do, like we are crying out for number 10, aren't we? We've been looking for it all season. We've been looking for that number 10. Stansfield's played it and he does it all right. Ducks, he's all right at that 10, but he's not quite what we want. Ducks isn't physical enough. We want someone who's strong, who can pick a pass, and who's going to mix it up a little bit. And I think if we have Solis alongside Doyle, like in front of Doyle and Pake alongside Doyle, that's going to be a really, really strong central midfield. And of course, we got a lot of Dimmy coming back. There's rumours about Keshi Anderson possibly on his way, and you know what? I mean, if Keshi goes, fair play. He's been a free. He was on on trial with us for a couple of weeks 2 seasons ago, and he served us quite well. We can't think that he's at the arse end of his career, Keshi Anderson. So what's going to happen? I mean, he's not going to want to sit on the bench. I'm not sure what he's got left on his contract. I don't think he's got a lot. So it would make sense for Anderson to go. Um, I think he's not going to get in that team in front of Dimmy Gray. He's not going to get in that team in front of Kumas at the moment. So the question is then, is Kumas staying or not? There seems to be a little bit of question about that. You see all the rumours in the press, take no notice. Things that talks are going on with Liverpool. Um, so I think if I had to guess, I would say Kumas is probably going to stay with us, and Anderson will go, which will release some money for us. And I think we could be bringing in another loan, but I think probably a striking option. Um, that's more likely, I think, in January. You can't go out and spend a fortune in January. It's not what you want to do. Um, it's a bad window. Uh, People get caught out in January, and we don't want to look like we're panicking to sign players because we're not. We have got a very strong squad actually. If you look at them all together, if we had them all back all now, then we'd be all right. But unfortunately, with injuries and stuff, then we haven't got that complete squad. But by the end of February, I think our squad's going to be looking really strong. But have we got that much time? I think we have to start winning league games, and if we're serious about going up now, I think to get into that top six, we have to have the sort of second half to a season that Middlesbrough have had um, in the first half. Now, it's not impossible. You know, that was how we were last season, really hard to beat, you know, not winning by loads of goals, but getting the points. And that's how we have to be now. And I think if we go 4 games now and lose 2 of them, I then honestly think it starts to look a little bit bleak. Um, so going to Swansea on Saturday is a really important one, and then of course Sheffield Wednesday in midweek next week. These are 2 games I think that we can go and win. What's your opinion of it? We know that Swansea got some good players. Um, One in particular is for Potnick, who their centre forward. He gave us a few problems at St Andrews. He's strong, he runs. He's a little bit like Josh Sargent, except like I'd say not so good. Um, but you know, they play a similar sort of lineup to us. They play a 4-1-4-1. So um, a lot across the middle of the pitch. They have uh, they have Galbraith, who is a very, very nice player. They took him off against us, and I thought he was pulling all the strings. So we'll see what happens with Galbraith. He's been playing sort of on the right hand side, and he can cause us some problems. Down the left, we're looking pretty strong now that we have Wagner there, but we haven't got that backup. The one good thing you could say really about Anderson is he's very good defensively, and he would help Cochrane a lot. You don't get quite so much of that with Dimmy, but it's the other things that Dimmy gives you, you know, isn't it? So I think we've got to like look at it in that respect as well. Um, Okay, so come and say hello again. Come and let me know you're still there. I've had no comments for a few minutes, so come and speak. Tell me what you're thinking. Is everyone happy? Uh, we know that we're going to have to, you know, get amongst it a little bit now, and show that we have to, you know, that we're intent on getting that top six. Because I think Wagner's looking at it thinking it's a possibility, it's not a likelihood. Um, Girona owned by Man City. I've got hello, Steve, ladies and gents. Keep the faith, man. Lee, how you doing, son? Brett Noakes is saying hello to everyone. How you doing, Brett? Thank you for coming and just say something now and again, so I know I'm not on my own. I've been scarred by my old laptop because it lied to me. I was blaming Facebook all the time, and now I've got a new laptop. I know it's his fault. Him sitting there, he's still sitting there, fucking brazen. Jeremy Burrows on. Jeremy, how you doing, son? Jeremy is Billy Burrows' dad. Billy, who's been on he's been on the bench for. He was on the bench last week, wasn't he? Billy's a really nice centre half, under 21s. He looks good. I like Billy. You know, I've always said that to Jeremy. He's a nice player, and I think he's probably going to make the breakthrough soon. I was absolutely gutted at 3-0 when we conceded those 2 goals, because I think Billy might have got 10 minutes. And to be honest with you, if it had come on when Robinson went off, and I'm not being nasty now, you know, to Neumann, but fucking hell, like he couldn't have really done any worse, could he? So, but you know, good luck with Billy. Let's hope he's back on the bench again tomorrow and gets a run out soon. Um, who's this big fella coming in? Anybody watched him? I don't know which one you're talking about, Brett. Brett, are you talking about John Solis, Paul James? Are you Lee? I think Lee's gone actually. He's gone shopping. I'm trying to stay at the shops. Like I said a few minutes ago, I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight. I'll go to the shop, I'll buy some. If I go in when I'm hungry, I'll buy crap. If I've got the crap in my fridge, I eat it. How's the weather in England, by the way? Is it all right? Is it all looking good now? Brett Noakes is saying, yeah, Solis. Well, Solish, we've had a little chat about him. I'll tell you about him again. He's a Girona player. He can sort of play number 10, number 8. He's 6'2". He's a big lad. He's very physical. He can get about the pitch. He's not scared to mix it up, and I think we need that in that middle of that pitch. It's the one thing we're lacking really. Um, he doesn't score a lot of goals. He's got a pass in him. He's technically good. Understands he understands formations and how they work. He's played in the European Cup for Girona. He's a La Liga player, Spanish equivalent to Premier League, second best league in the world. So I think, yeah, but let's see if it happens. I've said I think it's going to happen. I still do. I would go for Cleary and Barnsley. He is a Birmingham lad. Thing is, Stuart, I think the fact that the Brummies, it doesn't really mean, listen, to us it does, but he might be a Villa fan, you never know. But the thing is, with these lads, it's like Oppie in it, R.I.P. Oppie, we're still missing your son. It's like Oppie, Oppie's a mad Blues fan, all his family are Blues, but he signed for and played for the Villa before he played for us, so when it comes down to football, you have to like lose your allegiances a little bit. But yeah, he's a nice player. There's a lot of really good players out there. I'm presuming you watched the Liverpool game the other night, Stuart. Barnsley put up a good, a nice little performance, didn't they? It was funny though when the guy that scored Liverpool's first goal, I can never remember his name. I can't even say his name. Tried that little back heel in the middle of the defence. It's the sort of thing Blues are doing it at. I tried to back heel it, and the Barnsley player just picked it up and whammed it in. He's an Albion fan. Well, we definitely ain't having him then. Fucking Albion fan, and he's from Birmingham. If he was from, I suppose he could be from Handsworth. Albion really should be called Handsworth Albion, shouldn't they? Because really, that's where Albion is. It's not over the motorway. It's this side. It's Birmingham side. So really, we should amalgamate Albion. I think we could use until we get the new ground. Use the Hawthorns as a training pitch. Have their players what there is worth of having. To be honest, I'd have Bielik back tomorrow. It would have been good to have around Bielik now, wouldn't he? That cool head, Big Chris. I like Big Chris. He's hardly had a look in at the Albion really, and Albion ain't doing too well, are they? Lee Wilkie saying, I'm good, thank you, Steve. All right, Paul. Barnsley played well. The scoreline flattered Liverpool. I think it did, and I think Liverpool have got issues. It would be good, wouldn't it, if Xavi Alonso came in and managed Liverpool? I think it would. And I'm not being horrible to Arne Slot. I mean, he won the league for them last season, although he won it with the previous manager's team. It's a bit like, how'd you follow that up? But I do like, I do like, um, I do like Spanish managers. Generally, they're pretty good. There are a lot of crappy ones, but I think Xabi Alonso is one of the better ones. I lost my words then. Stuart Davis is saying Castle Vale, so he's from Castle Vale. All right, it's like a Brummie, isn't it? Proper Brummie. It's a blues area, really. Is it? It is a blues area, Castle Vale, I think. Yeah, of course it is. Um, so I'm from an ACO lad, I am. There's a murder in ACO Green yesterday on Alton Boulevard. Bloody hell. What's going on? Um, Richard saying happy rumours day. You see in the bloody, we talk about this in our moderation group, people going on about, hey, you won't put a link in, you won't put, just fucking give it a rest. Like, if you want to see all the rumours and the links, it's dead easy. Just go and look in another group and you'll see them all in there. The fact that we don't talk, we don't really, I don't mind talking about players. In fact, the one lad that had his post removed, I put it back in because I didn't think it was that bad. Like, it was a fairly sort of all right comment. But sometimes, moderators get it wrong. I get it wrong. We all get it wrong. But we haven't done with this really. I mean, it's our usual stance on rumours, on transfers. Usually, when we say something, it's going to happen. Not always. I've had stuff before, when I've been told it's definitely going to happen from a source I trust, and it doesn't happen at the last minute. But these things, they have a way of, not working out. There's a lot of obstacles to cover when you're signing a player, and it's like when people say, come on, you're supposed to be signing him. You haven't signed him yet, haven't signed him yet, haven't signed him yet, and it's like, you got to talk to the agent, you got to talk to the selling club, you got to discuss with the agent the player's wages, what he wants, then what add-ons he wants, then what do the club want? The club want this amount of money, all right. Well, what we're willing to do, can we put it over 3 years to amortise it for ourselves? No, like we'd like it, at least half the cash down, and then you can spread it over two, and then you talk to the player. What sort of contract is he going? We're going to give him. How old is he? I think we made a few cock-ups with the um, length of contracts that we've given. If I'm honest, don't like knocking the club for what they do. I mean, a lot of people are saying, like this is shit for Craig Gardner. Why? I mean, Craig is only a part of the recruitment team. He is, he does hold a high position at the club, and is well thought of, and he does a great job for us. But it isn't him. It's hard. It's software driven. Our scouting system. Now, I wouldn't think it's quite so much software driven in the winter. In January, I don't think it is. I think it's a case of us having a little look around, looking what's available, like we've just done. We've just spoken about um, John Solis, and so agents will talk to them. Like see Blues are selling people, you'll get different agents approaching them from different players. Some players, and you look at it really, and don't forget, we're looking at it from our point of view. We think everyone wants to play for us, but really, when you look through the championship and look at some of the teams in there, there's much better options for people than us, and there is. Brett Nolan saying Neumann needs beefing up. Yeah, it gets fraggled way too often for me. Um, Dux has openly admitted that he felt it was more aggressive than the German. I do hope he settles Neumann and comes good. I have to say, Brett, and this isn't me saying I told you so, but I said weeks and weeks ago, and I think if anyone that regularly listens to my podcast, I'll tell you I've said this. I think both Dux and Neumann have looked lightweight to me. They can't mix it. I think the other issue that they have is, well, they're not aggressive enough. The other issue is they're not used to playing that much football. And when they're playing like 6 games in 3 days or something, they look absolutely shot. And I think this is Dux's problem. Now Dux had a period before where he scored two and a one, didn't he? And he's done it again now. He scored two and a one. The big question for Dux now, can he repeat this on Saturday? And then can he repeat it on Tuesday? We don't want to see him disappear. He wasn't that brilliant. Although I did say I'd give him man of the match. I'd give it him because he scored. The goal wasn't. Listen, it was a great ball by Dore. Duck sort of helped it into the net in a way, and I'm not taking anything away from him. He scored, and that's absolutely brilliant. That's all we want him to do. But what we expect from him, and I don't think he was imposing enough on what day was it? Saturday, Friday, I don't know. It was Saturday. I don't think he was imposing enough in that game. He didn't put himself uh, around enough for me. He just didn't, you know. We want someone who's going to like mix it. And with Neumann, like I said a few minutes ago about Billy Burrell, I think if Burrell had come on instead of Neumann, I think he wouldn't have made those mistakes. He's a young lad, I know. He's captain the under 21s. He's a very good centre. I watched him play. He is really good, and I think he would have been so switched on to making an impression that he would have been okay. Having said that, once it had gone to 3-1, I probably wouldn't have put him on because then if anything goes wrong for him, he'd get murdered, and we don't want that to happen. Richard Lawton saying it must be hard still to attract proven championship players to a newly promoted club. Yeah, the thing is, Richard, that we have the project, don't we? Not us, not our project, the project. Um, which Tom Wagner sells really well, and which Craig Gardner sells well. And I think everyone can see what we're about. You know, they can see that we are, um, you know, we've got some money, we've got some ambition. I mean, anyone that's been to St Andrews over, any player that's been to St Andrews over the last 5 or 6 years only has to look at the ground and think to themselves, these Yanks have spent a lot of money, you know. Look at our history in the transfer market, look who we signed, look at the strength and depth that we have, and we have, and it's a good job we have, because it's now absolutely in tatters. I mean, we've probably got, I don't know, like I looked at the bench the other night and I thought, Jesus, you know, what we're going to bring on if anything goes wrong. And it proves, you know, I mean, Kenya came on, and I think for Chris Davis to pay Kenya, it really is, you know, and he just threw him up top, and I mean, he really, I don't even know what he did. Um, we bought Neumann on, who just looked lost. I mean, that goal, the first goal from Kai Kai, I don't think Neumann knew where he was. He just got completely lost. And that's another thing that I was saying when I was talking about Neumann. He doesn't have brilliant spatial awareness. He's very, very good. When I say he's physically good, he's athletic, he's strong, but if you put a Josh Sargent or a Vipotnik up against him like the Swansea lad, he ain't going to get any change out of them. And I think now this Robinson Clara central defensive partnership is there to stay for a while. The only other option is, and I've heard that we're looking at left-sided centre halves as well. So it could be that Robinson and Neumann become the two on the bench, and Clara, who I think is always going to be picked, may have another left-sided centre half with him, and I don't think it would be a bad thing. I'm not like dogging Robinson here, because I think he's done really well. I just don't think he's big enough. You know, need someone that bit taller. Robinson's 6 foot. He just ain't big enough for me. Uh, but I do like him. He's got big balls. He'll go up against anybody, and he doesn't make many mistakes. His passing was a little bit ragged at times against in the cup game, you know, on Saturday. Well, it was Saturday, wasn't it? Am I getting this? It was Saturday, I think. I don't even know what day it is half the time. Um, you know, it wasn't. Cambridge aren't like the best team in the world, and I think some of Robinson's passing sometimes was a bit poor. But you know, get Captain America back. Who's Captain America, Brett? Um, okay, Stuart's agreed. Richard, it must be hard still. Um, am I missing something, mate? Captain America. Emily's here. How you doing, Em? You all right, love? Nice to have a little bit of backup here. Richard Lawton's on. Emily's on. Moderating teams here as well. Trusty, you know what? I've seen him. I should have thought about it, because I did see his name mentioned somewhere last week. But you know what happens, Brett? I mean, you know, it's that thing I just said earlier. There's that geezer sitting at home, nothing to do, bored, you know, and thinks, oh, you know what? I trust you'd be good for us now, wouldn't he? You know, I mean, he's American. We're owned by Americans. He used to play for us. He's a centre half. I'm going to write in Facebook that he might be coming to us. That's how they start, you know. I don't know. The thing is, Stuart and Brett, if you've heard anything, you know, genuine about Trusty, come and tell me, because I'd be interested. I like Trusty. I was really upset when he went, but I think if we can get a proven uh, Premier League centre half on loan, that's the route I would take, I think. Possibly for, you know, a loan to the end of the season with the opportunity to buy if we wanted to. We don't really want to take any new contracts out. We want to keep that money right. Um, Richard saying, I've played lots of league sports, Steve, and the hardest thing to do is come on in a game 3/4 of the way through. You are starting cold. Yeah, I mean, listen, loads of us have played football, you know. I've played football for years and years, but I've got to tell you this. if I'm sitting on the bench, I want to get on that pitch. And it doesn't matter how hard I think it's going to be once I'm on there. Where I want to be is on there, and I think every player sitting on that bench wants to play. And when you got the young, and I'm not. Listen, you might think I'm dogging Neumann here. I'm not, but Neumann hasn't looked right for weeks. I would say he started off really well, and then it just went downhill, and he just hasn't looked right for me since. He just hasn't, and I'm just being honest. I'm not having a go at him. I mean, in the Bundesliga or whatever, he's probably or Bundesliga two. He's probably a very accomplished and good centre half. But players have their levels. Don't they? Players have their levels, and you can say that. We talk about Alfie May, weren't we? Alfie May probably a good League One striker. We talk about Kyogo. Okay, Scottish Prem probably all right for him. The Championship might be too hard for him. The way he scored that goal the other night, he nicked it, he finished it, but he's got to do it regularly. And I think that's the problem is the Championship is an extremely hard league to play in, and it's very physical. And I think for Neumann and for our little Kyogo, sometimes it's a little bit too rough. But I know, mate, I've sat on the bench, only one place I want to be. I want to be on that pitch, and that's how it should be. If you've got players sitting there who are like halfway through the second half, don't fancy it because they're going to go in cold. He's playing for the wrong team. But I think I know what you mean when you say once you go on, it's difficult. It is, and quite often, Steve Daniels is on. How you doing, Steve? Quite often, I think one of our problems, and I said it, I think I said it the other day in one of my podcasts, is, and I see this a lot with us, we often have to make two or three subs on the hour or around the hour because our high pressing game and our high energy game is very demanding physically on players. And when we take three off all together and put three on, it completely changes the complex of the game, the complexity of the game. It completely changes it. So the game then changes, not because we particularly change uh, the setup, although we do sometimes, we go more defensive. But when you take someone like Stansfield off or Doyle off, straight away it leaves a hole, doesn't it? And I know you've probably got a decent player coming on, but it just you lose the rhythm of the game, and that happens to us quite a lot. And loads of people have said before, and I can see two sides of this coin, right? I work in the fitness industry, I work in sports science, I know what it's about, and you can't perform for endless amounts of time and perform the same if after 60, 70 minutes they've got all the stats on the side of the pitch. If he's starting to look tired, starting to look leggy, then we're going to switch them. But you lose the rhythm of the game. I don't know, it's just a difficult one, isn't it? I'll give it Brexit. I'll give it Kyogo. He's not afraid of getting. He isn't, mate. He definitely isn't. Someone puts himself about more than Dutch. He does. And when I think with that, Brett, and I was saying this earlier in the season, I forget who it was we played against. I can't remember now. It was a goal, I think, that um, I think it was one of Lyndon Dykes' goal. I'm going to think about it in a minute. You might be able to tell me. The ball came over, and he actually was challenging the centre half, Kyogo, and it was that headed challenge that he forced that made the centre half hit the ball up, and I think it was Dykes that nodded it in. I think he'd just come really close with an attempt as well, Kyogo. I'm going to think what it is, and I'll tell you on the next podcast. Um, but he definitely isn't scared. He's not. He's only little, but he's got. You know what they say? It's not the dog in the fight; it's the fight in the dog in it. And I think with Kyogo, he's well up for it. Um, he just has to, you know, calm down a little bit, do what he did on Saturday against Cambridge when he goes through and he's on that one-on-one. And the scariest thing for that one-on-one was that he had lots of time, didn't he? if it just fallen to him, striker's natural instinct is to just hit the ball and it's in the net. But I think with that one, he had a lot of time, so he actually nicked it off the player. He then had to run at speed with the ball. That centre half got took off not long after, didn't he? He was murdering him. He had to go with the ball. Keeper came out, and he had to decide what he's going to do. And while he was running, I was thinking, oh Jesus, please, please. Then when he hit it and he hit the net, I think a bit of wee come out. He was fucking brilliant, wasn't it? It was like, fucking get it, Kyogo, son. You gotta love him, ain't you? You know, he hadn't even had his roots done. He don't care what I say. I keep telling him, get your roots done. He don't care. But let's hope the goals are going to come now, and let's hope his confidence is a little bit higher, and let's hope he can get them finishes in. Carry on playing the way you're playing because you're very, very good. Paul James, I haven't seen him myself, but I've heard he's having a good tournament. Stuart, are we talking about? Oh, Samuel, sorry, I missed that comment. Been watching the Afcon. He looks slimmer. It's probably because they wear dark shirts, not Nigeria. Um, he's had a good tournament, but I still think that Asai Samuel's best position is right side of midfield. That would be for me. But how's he going to get in there? When he comes back, he's not going to. I can't see Iwata moving from that right back position until Laird is fit. Um, so I've heard he's having a good tournament. Brett Noakes saying like Stano, mate, Stansfield. I've seen people actually having a moan about Stansfield, like Golden Boy and all this shite. What are you talking about? He is probably definitely our most valuable player. He's a very, very good footballer. He can play up front of his own. He can play wide left. He can play the number 10. He runs his heart out. He can press. He can finish. What do you want? Um, Steve Daniels just put a little Kyogo in there. No, yeah, I think he liked it when they're doing all that Kyogo stuff. Oh, he was nice. Well, they are in the semis, so he must be good enough for Nigeria. Yeah, but the question is, like, how good are Nigeria, isn't it? I mean, it's all right. It can be in the semis of, of the what's it trophy that we lost last year. It don't mean nothing. It don't mean you're good enough to play Liverpool, does it? Brett Noakes, Stano is ace. He's a pest. Mate, that's exactly what he is. He's a wasp, But yeah, Richard is good enough for Nigeria, and but he's played many, many games for Nigeria. He was good enough for Fenerbahce. It doesn't mean it's like saying, isn't it? We talk about the Germans. They were good enough for and they come here and they can't mix it. Paul James, Dano is a class, gives it on. He does, and I think we're so lucky to have Stansfield. He's been a very, very big player for us, and I think you have to look at him and think, the team has to follow his example because he never gives up. We've seen him play with injuries. The other good thing about Stansfield is he gets over injuries fast, doesn't he? He's a quick healer. But so is Dimmy. But Dimmy must have a pretty bad knock, I think. Um, Often, like calf strains and hamstring strains can take a long time to heal. And the thing you worry about with those is they might feel okay, but when you're actually playing competitively with that kind of injury, they reoccur really easily. So you have to make sure that absolutely 100% repaired. Sports science team will be able to look at that and sort it. Physios are there to help. So yeah, all's good. A lot of debate about Beadle. I think he's fine personally. I don't think there's any problem with it at all. For me, probably the better of the two. Not much in it. There was talk about us getting another goalkeeper, but Chris Davis has put that one to bed. He said there's not another goalkeeper coming in, so that's done. Um, February at earliest. Do you know what though, Paul? I've seen Chris Davis say this before about players, and suddenly they're on the bench, and you think, Jesus, he kept that quiet. So you never know, and I think any day now we could see Buchanan on the bench. He's on the grass, he's training. I don't know. He's probably going to get an under 21 run out or something, isn't he? I don't know. But I can't wait for Buchanan to come back. It does cause us a little bit of an issue then because obviously you've got Wagner at left back. But you forget that Lee Buchanan can play left-sided centre half. He's quite tall, he's bigger than Robinson. And he's a lovely fullback, Buchanan, isn't it? I wonder what Cochrane's future is with us now. Because I know, he's been really good for us over the last 18 months, but is he a player that is top end of the championship? Um, He's got a wonderful left foot, Cochrane has. He's not scared to get forward a little bit. He can't get forward like Wagner can. He's not that kind of fullback. But I wonder what his future is. Richard Lawton saying we will miss Dimmy, especially in your away games. We miss his quality on the ball. Absolutely, and I think the thing that we miss with Dimmy, and we've seen it against Cambridge, is like Kumas will run at players all day long. He likes taking players on, but he hasn't got that Velcro foot, has he? That Dimmy's got. The ball just sticks to him. And the other thing with Dimmy, he's better. He can go inside and outside. I think Kumas is a little bit one-sided, but he can play with both feet. He scored his first goal for us. That run he made for the goal the previous week that Patrick Roberts laid on for him. The run he made was absolutely brilliant. It really was. Um, Cochrane will go end of this season too. So yeah, I think he will. And to say it sounds a bit derogatory, Brett, when you say it like that. He's too slow. I mean, it's like I said earlier, there's levels, isn't there? And I think probably for a mid-table championship team, he's fine. For a Division One team, a League One team, he's absolutely brilliant. For a Scottish team, he's fine. But I think when you start coming to the top end of the championship, then if you look at the difference between him and Wagner, I know we haven't seen much of Wagner, so I'm not going to be blowing his trumpet too much for him. But when you look at the difference so far, there's a big difference in Wagner. Wagner gets forward more, he's stronger, he's better in the air, he's quicker, and he likes attacking, Wagner does. You imagine, we have Wagner and Laird in the two fullback positions. Usually we always attack down the right because Laird is the only fullback that can get forward like that. I know Iwata can. Um, so we don't attack down the left, but now we've got the threat on both sides. So when we have possession, Laird can stay back sometimes and Wagner go forward. Wagner can stay back sometimes and Laird can go forward. And it leaves the opposition a little bit more like, which side they're going to come from kind of thing. Um, is Pete Allen here? I didn't see Pete come in. Is Pete here? Did I miss Pete? I can't see Pete Allen being here. Son, is he here? Are you there, Pete? Yeah, we remember that, don't we? Are you there, Pete? So Pete's here, fine. If he isn't, get on here, Pete. Let's see you, mate. Um, yeah, so we've got two very, very good fullbacks. We've got actually, if you look at the back five or six, I mean, we have got that option now. And someone was saying earlier, do you think we're going to change how we set up? I don't. I don't think we're going to change how we set up. And someone said, do you think now we can change more away from home? I think we did against Cambridge. It was a funny one, Cambridge, because it ain't the game really that you'd want to be setting up a bit more defensively, but he did. He did set up a little bit more defensively. We defended deeper anyway, and we did control the game. I mean, we never looked under threat until the last 10 minutes. I think Doyle was fine, Pike fine, back four at times looked a bit clumsy, two centre backs looked a little bit awkward at times. Um, Dux wasn't strong enough up front. Kyogo, absolute pain in the arse, played really well. Uh, I think Kumas had a good game. Patrick Robertson a little bit quiet, wasn't he? So it was one of those games. But we can play. I mean, we have got the option if we play someone away. I don't know. Let's just, for instance, don't shoot me down for it. But if you were to say we're playing Middlesbrough away, all right, I know we've done it already. So you could play with a back five and have the two wing backs as Laird and Wagner. So three if you want three central halves. You can have Buchanan, Robinson, Clara, something like that. Two wing backs pressing into midfield, which can make us very defensive if we want to be. That's the low block style of defending then. So we have got their option, and we've got two tailor-made wing backs um, with those two. Uh, Steve Daniels, I'm surprised we haven't signed anyone yet. Well, we have signed someone, Steve. We signed Kai Wagner. I think that John Solis looked a good physical unit. If I believe we are in for him. I believe this is just sources that I trust, and I've also seen Romano saying it as well. So let's keep our fingers. I would like to see Solis come. Richard is saying we could have Wagner and Buchanan. I just miss it's just jumping around a bit. Let me just have another little look. We could have Wagner, Buchanan, and Laird and Bright attacking on both flanks. Well, the issue with that obviously is if you're talking about playing all four of those, I don't think that's ever going to happen because they would have to displace someone. So, like if you're thinking we got two, I don't think Bright's good enough to attack down the right, but I definitely think Laird is, Laird obviously is. I think Iwata is as well. Definitely Buchanan can, and definitely Wagner can. But you wouldn't, I don't see there's room for those four in one team. I mean, you wouldn't want to drop Dimmy for Buchanan playing on the left, and you wouldn't want to drop Patrick Roberts to let Asai Samuel play on the right. But their options, definitely. We got some good depth in our team. On paper, Brett Noakes is telling me that our team is class. The problem we have is we can't score from the treatment table. Is exactly very true, mate. And once you have players back, a few tweets playoff. It's just how many points we need now to get in the playoffs. That's the big challenge. We have to really turn this around. We really have to. Heard a potential loan with a choice to buy for 7-8 million. Are we talking about Solis uh, on that one? I didn't see that. I'm missing a few posts here because I'm talking too much. Oh, all right, Steve Daniels to buy. I think you're talking, Steve, there about John Solis. That would be a brilliant. That would be an absolutely brilliant deal. That would if we could do that. Yeah, Girona are no mugs. They nearly won La Liga. Mate, Girona are a good team. I live in Spain, right? I know people have a lot of respect for Girona, and they've made the European Cup several occasions. They're good, and Solis has played in the European Cup for them. Um, Richard, are you behind on the messages? You're just saying hi, Em. I can't see Em anywhere now. I know she's here. Emily. I don't know. Is the other Em here? I'm probably just missing a few here. Um, yeah, so I think Solis would be great. Get him in the middle. Gives us that extra little bit. So you could sort of be looking at Patrick Roberts on the right, Dimmy on the left, and then in that number 10, Solis or Stansfield and Solis, or Solis there, Stansfield alongside him, and then like hopefully a Premier League online striker up front, or Kyogo or Dux. I've got to be honest. If I had to say, one, I would have Kyogo up front to Dux personally. I think he offers more threat. He's more consistent. We know what to expect from him. Big central halves hate him. He's just a pain in the arse, and he's so fast. If he starts to put the ball in the net, we've got some player there. Um, Not four at once. Oh yeah, I didn't know what you meant, Richard, when you said that. Yeah, we have got two. We've got four really good options there. I don't think, like the first game against Ipswich, I thought Asai Samuel got forward really well, but after that, I don't think I'd seen him do that so well. He seems to just hold back a little bit. He's not led, put it that way. Um, Bretton Noakes, does anybody see a long-term future for Willie? Williamson, you mean? No, I don't think. I think Williamson will be one to go. I don't know about in this window. I know that Chris Davis likes him a lot, but only from what I've seen, I would think now he's not. He isn't a championship player. Again, levels. You know, I think last season he's good for half a season, wasn't he? Then it all went a little bit pear-shaped for him. He's had a few knocks and injuries. I think and I've said it about him before. I think you could probably expect the same from Solis, but I think Solis is a much stronger version of him. He's not the same player. He's not the same player. I mean, he's a lot stronger. Solis is more. He's deeper, plays deeper than Williamson would. But Williamson sometimes, his legs are a bit too long, aren't they? He sort of looks awkward and he can't get out of the way quick enough. The ball gets stuck under his feet. But he has got a wonderful pass on him. He understands the game well. He's a very good footballer in there somewhere. But I just don't think he's top end championship level. I just don't. Does anybody see a long term future? Right, we just read that one. Right, I think we're all up to date. Um, I don't know, who's coming in, what's going to happen, what's the team going to be about against Swansea. I think we'll be trying to get someone in between before tomorrow night to beat the deadline. Because if we're going to make a serious attempt at getting into these playoffs, we have to start on Saturday. That Swansea game's a really important game for us. We get 3 points at Swansea, it starts to look serious. We get beat, we can start to kiss it goodbye. If we get 6 points from the Swansea and Sheffield Wednesday games, we can look at ourselves seriously again and think, you know, we are a promotion threat. If we lose them both, I think we write the season off. And I know that sounds a little bit dramatic at this point in the season, but we can't afford to lose too many games now. We've lost our games. If you have a bad first half of the season, which you haven't really, we're halfway down the table. But if we have serious ambitions to finish in the top six, now is the time when we have to make our move and we have to go forward with it and we have to start winning games. I think Chris Davis knows that. I think he is looking now at being a little bit more solid away from home. I think with Swansea, we could see us looking that a little bit deeper. Just sitting that bit deeper, it makes sense. You can't just go all guns blazing all the time, particularly away from home, because you give that early goal away again, like we do so often, it just puts you on the back foot from the 10th or 15th minute. Richard Lawton saying Williamson's level is not top end championship, his legs don't move. I think, yeah, I think you're right, Richard, and it's not really a case when you're that big, you can't move your legs that quickly. When you're playing in that position, in the number 10, when you've got a lot of players around you, you need to be a little bit lighter on your feet. Where I think if we've got Solis sitting that little bit deeper, like Solis could be, like Doyle's Mindy, how good does that sound? Fucking brilliant, isn't it? Fucking come on, get him in, get him in. Brett, bang on point, Steve. Need to really move now. We do. We've got to get going now. No more excuses. Hoping Robinson and Stano are fit. I think Robinson will be fit. It looked like he took a little bit of a knock. It didn't look too serious to me. Stansfield, I think he'll be fit. He's got, Stansfield's a quick healer. Um, to be honest, Robinson looked absolutely knackered, and he didn't have his best game. He didn't have a bad game, but what was unusual for him with Robinson was some of his passing wasn't that good. But the other thing I like about Robinson, he's got that throw in and throws now for us. We can put that ball into the box from a throw in. We're scoring more goals from set pieces now. We look more dangerous, and I think it's a big weapon for us. Steve Dennison, I think we will win by a goal, 1 or 2-1. I think the defender will be better. Defence will be better now with Iwata, Clara, Robinson, Wagner. I'm 100% with you there, Steve. I think that back four looks quality, doesn't it? It's dangerous going forward. It's got the threat of the Robinson throw. We've got a left-sided and a right-sided centre half, which is what we always should have had. I mean, for me to play two right-footed centre halves, and really, I don't really understand it. And listen, I love Chris Davis to bits, but I don't understand like the absolute requirement to get Neumann in that team. We moved our best centre half onto his wrong side, and I just don't get it. That wasn't. I just don't get. I don't understand it. Because he did look good for a couple of games, but after that, and I mean, Chris Davis did drop him, and then Robinson come in, and then Clara came back. He had two good games. Then he went downhill again, and then Robinson came in again. I just don't see. I just don't think. I think Chris Davis is looking at Neumann now and thinking probably not what we thought he is. Steve saying I think we will win by a goal, right? And we've just spoken about that one. Yeah. So we're on the hour. I think we've had a nice little chat today. Ironed a few things out. I think we're all like, in agreement that we need to start winning games and be a little bit patient. If we lose on Saturday, I know I've already said, but I think if we lose the two games, I think we're in a shit. If we lose one, we need a point on Saturday at least, but we really need to start winning games because now we have to say this is the start of the new season on Saturday, and we've got to finish in the top two. So what I mean is we haven't got to finish in the top two, but we have to win the second half of the season, or the form table in the second half of the season has to see us in the top two or three for us to make the playoffs. That's what I mean. Um, Steve Daniels again. Looks like that Mano's broken down. I don't even think it existed, mate, and that's the truth. It's just another Paku app. I'm probably only bothered about money. I just don't think that Mano thing was ever really going to happen. I might be proven wrong. I never took it seriously. I did ask around. It was all rumour. Think about Coventry and this and that. The thing is, we don't even know if the club are interested in him. And it's just assumption. So if he's gone, he's gone. It's not the end of the world, is it? Uh, Paul James, good live, Steve. Listen, these lives that we're doing here now, I mean, they're good because you guys are here because I couldn't do it on my own. I like this. I love this now. It used to do my head in because it used to break down all the time. That has gone now. We've got this live worked out now, and it's really really nice that we're getting so much engagement in it. And you do see as well, of course, that we put on that we put this into. It's always there for a month to view in the Facebook page, but also put it onto YouTube and then put it back into YouTube this evening so people can watch it. But what I do like is I like getting the people on to come and talk. Now you've got a lot of people in there this morning slagging me off about like not allowing rumours in and all this. Well, I made my point. I've told everyone exactly what it is, why we don't do it. Um, but not one of them comes on and asks me about it. This is the opportunity now when we do these to come on and say, listen, what's going on. Be honest and tell you, it's difficult sometimes to express yourself properly in a response on a Facebook page. For two reasons. Number one, it just is difficult to do, and number two, I'm too fucking lazy to do it. Ask the moderation group when and they get sick of it. I know they do. Like when I make comments in the moderation group, I always do a voice comment. I don't do. I very rarely put written comments in because I'm too lazy. Richard saying we need to pick up 3 or 4 points from two away games. Yeah, I think so. We've got to start looking at this now. But we've played some of the toughest games, and those are those teams away from home. We've got some of the big teams at home now. We beat Coventry, we drew Southampton. So all the other ones now, we have to beat them. And I'm still confident. I'm not, I haven't thrown the towel in. But this is now, shit or bust. I think the next 3 games are vital that we get something out of them. Then we go into February when we start to get our players back. Look at it and think, this is wide open now. Don't forget, in 48 hours' time, we could be sitting there going, oh, I wonder if Mitrovic will start or will he be on the bench? I can't get out of my head. Mitrovic is living in my head rent free. The big bugger. Come on, Kyogo, another goal from you, son. Ducks, get your act together. Get some fucking muscle into it. Don't be scared of them centre halves. And lads, let's do the business. And listen, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been absolutely brilliant. We're going to do another one on Friday, no matter what happens. And you know, if anything crops up in the meantime, where I think we need to get our heads together again and have a little talk about it, then we'll do so. But thank you so much. I love these little chats, and I love you guys. You're absolutely brilliant. And you know, the people that we have on this forum when we're doing it like this, you're so level-headed and you know, like you properly understand the game, don't you? And that's what we want. We want that. That's what the group's all about. And listen, we're going up. And another one. Listen one more time. Up his son. R.I.P. Mate, we miss you. Up the Blues. Have a great day, guys, and I'll speak to you very soon. Thank you.